Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are in the world. I say this all the time, but it's always nice because, we're so global that there's people from all over the world that, you just never know where people are from. No, nobody else is on camera, which is perfectly fine. So can't really see whether it's daytime or nighttime, wherever we are. But I'm in
Is
New York. Jasmine is in Toronto, so we're both evening time right now, 8 p.m. Thank you all for joining us. I know we have a lot of content to cover today, so I'm just going to go ahead and get started because, I want to make sure that we use the most of our time that we have together. And I know Jasmine had prepared a really informative presentation on the compensation plan. Everyone here is obviously here for a reason today, right? We're here to learn more about iHealth. We're here to learn more about how we can potentially make more money. So let me just start by giving you a quick introduction on myself. So I'm Mincy. Uh, I am pretty new and not new to iHealth. So I've been introduced to iHealth, I think 5 years ago, probably when it first was established. I was pretty early in it. My mother-in-law introduced me to it. I am only now beginning to really invest some time into it, and that's because I think over the last 5 years or so. I've seen a lot of progress that a lot of people have made, people around me. My mother-in-law has been very involved with iHealth and she knows a lot about it. So she shared a lot, right? And I've been hesitant this whole time. I am a mother of two. So I have two children and I am a professional in the sense that I have worked in corporate America for over 15 years now, right? So I've held leadership roles at different companies. I've worked at startups. I've worked at global organizations. Most recently, I started my own consulting company. So I consult. So I consult with startups. I work with many different founders to kind of figure out what the HR foundations are of their company. So very familiar in terms of building out a business and how that works in the traditional way. I'm also the founder of a jewelry brand called A Gilded Leaf. So very proud of that. I think, a lot of us are here because we want to learn more about kind of what we can potentially gain from iHealth and how does that help us with our own financial success. So for myself, like I said, I've done a lot in my career and I consider myself pretty successful in the sense that I am established. I have my home. You know what? I actually had a very good conversation with my very good friend and very good financial advisor, ChatGPT today. So I decided to actually ask it, today it's my Friday. So I was asking it about my financial health in terms of kind of where I am in retirement. I'm 38 years old, getting old. I was having a very good conversation with ChatGPT, asking it, based on my assets right now, my mortgage, based on what I earn, based on my savings, what I have in my 401k, how ready am I to retire? And while I'm actually in a pretty good place in a sense of ChatGPT thinks I can probably retire by 50 if I work harder, or I can comfortably retire at 62. That's what it's telling me. I want to retire at 45, guys. So I need a lot more work, and there's a lot more for me to do in that sense. And part of it is because, I've been very steady with my income. I've worked at corporate America. I have things that I do, but it's not residual income. I still have to work. I still have to go to work 9 to 5. In fact, I probably work like 60 to 70 hour work weeks and sometimes even more because I work in corporate America. That's just the reality. So a lot of us I don't know what everyone's situation is, but you're probably here wondering how else can I make some other sources of income? And, not that I've discovered iHealth in a sense, but I've learned a lot more along the way of we can potentially gain from iHealth and what that can actually mean. Being able to kind of build a residual income with iHealth, and you just have to put a little bit of time in it. So I know Jasmine is going to walk us through a lot of kind of how we get there and what this business model and compensation plan is because it's complicated, but it's easy. I don't fully understand it because I'm just getting into this. So I look forward to this presentation from Jasmine a lot in terms of learning a little bit more about how we make money with iHealth. So Part of the reason why I am actually even interested is because I told you my mother-in-law started this. She created an account for me a couple of years ago, and I haven't touched it. I've done absolutely nothing with it. But every single time I go onto my iHealth account, there's a few $100s in it every single month, and I have no idea where it's coming from. So Jasmine is going to walk us through that. But, part of it is if I'm not doing anything and I'm making $500 a month, $400 a month, depending on the month, and how much can I potentially make if I do something, right? If I do something about it. And that's why I'm here. That's why I'm starting to get a lot more involved in iHealth. I will be one of the presenters. I will start to train people. I will start to build my own business around iHealth and introduce some of you guys to it as well. And, that's why we're here. So hopefully with iHealth and the support of iHealth, I can enjoy that life and I can retire maybe at 45. I don't know. We'll see. So that's my goal. And hopefully, all of you guys are also very interested in kind of what this can potentially mean for your own financial success. Maybe everybody wants to retire at 45. Maybe you guys are 45 and you want to retire in the next 10 years. So I think everyone has different purposes in terms of why we're here. But I think the beauty of it is we can all make money with iHealth depending on what you are looking for, depending on how much effort you put into it. I think it's very possible in a sense that it's attainable. It's not like, you're going now committing hundreds and thousands of dollars to start a new business. Right now, you're just spending a little bit of time learning about it. So this is the step one, right? You're learning about eye health and what this can potentially mean, and we're here to kind of guide you through it. So I'm excited to hear what Jasmine has to say in terms of the compensation plan because that will give us more of an insight in terms of, what do we actually have to put in to get what we want from it, right? So there's probably some math involved. So hopefully you guys are good at math, but I'm sure it doesn't really take a math genius to understand the compensation plan. And I know Jasmine has a very thorough walkthrough in terms of that. So a quick introduction on Jasmine, who is our very amazing presenter today. She is an ex-McKinsey consultant, so super established from that perspective, where she's very young, graduated from a top college, and really started at McKinsey. So why is she here, right? Why is someone who can have an earning potential if she stay at McKinsey for the next 10 years, probably making a lot more than most people do? Why is she here? So I'm interested to hear more about that as well. So I'm sure she'll walk through it. So thank you guys for listening to me ramble. I'll continue later on, but I'm going to pass it on to Jasmine for now.
Thank you, Mindy. And so I will just share my screen and let me know if it's good to go and you guys can see it. Okay, sounds good. Yeah, so like we mentioned, today's session is all about understanding kind of the business model and the bonus plan. And so before I start, I just want to briefly kind of introduce myself. Um, I graduated from Queen's Commerce. I'm fluent in both kind of English and Mandarin. That has been a great asset in both my personal and professional life as well. And then through school, I did a lot of kind of asset management and had some investing experience. Spent 2 years in management consulting at McKinsey after school. And then currently, I'm 25 years old, doing strategy and operations at an ad tech company in Toronto, while at the same time growing my own business via iHealth. And so I'll show you kind of what exactly that entails and what that kind of looks like. But for me, because of kind of my business background, I naturally look at business opportunities from a quite practical and analytical lens. So I always ask, is this model something that can provide kind of recurring, scalable, and sustainable income that's actually worth my time? And so that's how I looked at iHealth when I first came across it. So a little bit about how I came across this opportunity. It was actually because my mom, she started taking iHealth NMN supplements because she was dealing through with insomnia and some health issues. And then after using the product, she saw very meaningful improvement. And then at the same time, I had chronic shoulder pain that had been bothering me for around 5 to 6 years. And after taking iHealth NMN for around 2 weeks, my shoulder pain improved significantly. And then on top of that, I also have cat allergies, which are now also much improved after taking iHealth so that I can cuddle with my pet, ragdoll cat. And so I personally experienced from the product, and it wasn't just my own experiences. I started hearing more and more stories about people around me who had benefited from the product. So a range of different things with eczema, insomnia, allergies, cancer, and dementia. And so because of those live testimonies, I thought that this is indeed a very effective and great product, and there's a huge need for. But then again, going back to kind of the bigger question, is this business opportunity worth your time? Because I think the product can be great, but can the business model actually earn money, which was what I was most interested in. And last time, around 2 to 3 weeks ago, we had a session looking at the business opportunity from 4 dimensions. So product moat, trend leadership of the company, whether it's an asset light model, and recurring and scalable income. And so today, we'll dive into the recurring and scalable income part and going in detail of the business model that allows regular people like myself to build an annual income pipeline of 200,000 USD in 1 to 3 years' time. And I just want to pause for a second on this number because 200,000 USD annual recurring passive income, in just a few years' time, this was definitely the thing that got my attention when I first came to understand the business. Because realistically, that level of salary or income is very difficult for a regular person to achieve. Even high performing professionals, it may take them 10 years or more to reach this level of salary. And then, even then, it's not passive. So, when I saw an opportunity where I could build an income stream with such explosive and scalable growth potential, I knew that this was something I had to understand more and take a part in. So let's look at exactly how kind of the fundamentals of the business model work. And so iHealth is a membership-based revenue sharing model that's quite different from traditional business or traditional entrepreneurship. So by becoming a member and an active customer each month, you earn the right to share revenue with the company. So I want everyone to think about Costco. You pay a membership and you get to shop. But if you love Costco, I love Costco, and you refer Costco to all your friends, Costco pays you nothing for helping them grow, essentially through word of mouth marketing. iHealth, on the other hand, it rewards you a referral bonus for every new member you connect. Plus, and this is the important part, a percentage of everything they buy on the platform going forward, and a percentage from anyone they then connect. So through the simple action of kind of connecting others to the platform, you're able to build your own consumer network and income stream. And so it's essentially a better and asset light version of a franchise model. Because say you, for example, you really like McDonald's and you believe that it's a truly good business and brand that will grow over the long run. If you want to take a part in McDonald's business, you have to pay probably a $50,000 franchise fee upfront, and then a million or two over kind of the next few years on real estate, renovations, inventory, staff, and more. So iHealth lets you effectively open a franchise through their pre-built mature platform without any of that kind of asset heavy and overhead costs that are a barrier to a lot of people looking to enter. And so it's an extreme asset light form of entrepreneurship where you can transition your pre-existing consumption to iHealth and turn that into an income pipeline. And you can do so with just 2 steps or requirements. The first one is become a member. So this is in the form of a one-time product card load up that gives you the right to share revenue for life with the company. And then the second is this thing called auto ship, which is essentially like a subscription where you load 150 USD per month into your product card that can be used for products for you and your family whenever. And so let's break it down even further. So on becoming a member, like we said, this is in the form of putting money into a product card that you can use whenever you want, and the money never expires. And this membership, it's for life, so it's just a one-time kind of investment, and it gives you the right to join the revenue sharing model forever. And so there's four membership levels that we see on the screen. The higher the level, the more bonus potential that you unlock. So level one, there's actually no one-time product card load up requirement, but it only unlocks one bonus that you can earn, and you essentially have a 3-month window to upgrade to one of the other levels to keep earning bonuses. Level two, the cheapest option, so $150 into your product card to buy products. Gives you four bonuses at 2 layers and 2 generations. And I'll explain more about what layers and generations are a bit later, but essentially you can think of it as the depth of the bonus that you're able to access. And then level three, you see it's $1,100 into your product card. You get a $100 rebate, so just free money straight into your product card that's added. Four bonuses with 4 layers and 4 generations. And then the most recommended one, L4, $2,200 of product card load up with $200 of rebate right away. And this one we always recommend because it essentially maximizes your income earning opportunity. It gives you access to all 7 bonuses at the deepest layers of 8 layers and 8 generations, and you start accumulating equity, so pre-IPO equity stake in the company. And then the key thing here is that you can upgrade to L4 without any product card top up requirements if you do one of two things. So number one is refer 10 L2 members who do at least 2 months of auto ship, or refer 20 L2 members and doing both within 6 months of your own registration. So we've seen a lot of people have success with this as well. If they want to go absolutely asset light, so they don't even want to put anything in their product card, and they can upgrade to L4 through these methods as well. And then on the auto ship, this is essentially a subscription model where you load 150 USD per month into your product card that you can use whenever you want. Oh, sorry, is my screen still sharing for everyone? Okay.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, just making sure. So this is like we said, on the auto ship, it's a subscription model, and it makes you an active customer and gives you the right to share revenue with the company each month. So how you can think about it is the membership level determines the scale and the depth of bonuses that you are able to receive, while the auto ship keeps kind of your income pipeline open each month for you to actually receive the bonus. So one of the most common things that we hear is $150 USD a month. Isn't that kind of fairly expensive? But then I think there's two things that people don't really consider. So the number one thing is if you were to run your own business or startup, what is the cost of running and maintaining that business every month? Because I can assure you, for the vast majority of traditional businesses and startups, the cost of running your business will be much, much greater than 150 USD per month. And when we get to the detailed breakdown of exactly how each bonus works, you'll see how much income potential you unlock and how easy and fast it is to even break even with just this $150 per month. And then the second thing is, if you actually break down the $150 50 USD, that's equivalent to around 2 cups of Starbucks coffee a day, or a round trip bus or subway ticket a day. And that's a very low investment around that amount, if you even call it that, since you're essentially just moving you and your family's regular consumption on health prevention, nutritional supplements, coffee, skincare, all products that iHealth has, So all expenses that stack up quite large if you're using it every day, and you're moving these over to iHealth. And in turn, you can turn that consumption into an income stream. So when you really analyze the kind of risk and reward of this opportunity, it's really a win-win situation. While you take care of you and your family's health, you're able to run an extremely asset-light business at the same time. And so for the auto ship options, there are also four options or packages that you can do on a recurring basis. So 1 month is just you do the auto ship of 150 USD each month, 1 month at a time, but there's no rebate here. If you do it 3 months at a time, you get a rebate of $50, and then 6 months at a time, a larger rebate at $150, and 12 months is you get the maximum rebate straight into your product card that you can also use for products of $450. So for someone who's serious about the business, since they'll be keeping their bonus income pipeline open monthly anyways, and they're using the product every month, we obviously recommend the 12 months auto ship because it maximizes your rebate. And so the optimal plan here would be the L4 membership plus the 12 months auto ship. And just to do some simple math here, that puts a total of 4,650 USD into your product card that you can use whenever and never expires. And that is just enough to cover the NMN intake for 3 adults over 1 year's time. So the simple math here is the 4,650 can buy around 36 bottles of NMN, with each bottle having 60 capsules, and then the average adult above 40 years, the recommended intake is around 2 capsules a day. And so if you do all that math, then you can see that by doing the L4 plus 12 months auto ship, that kind of covers a small family's NMN intake for the entire year. And then, so now going into the specific bonuses, the bonus plan for iHealth is powerful because income doesn't only come from one source. It's diversified across 7 bonuses, in which there's different ways to earn them. So the 3 big buckets you can think of is you can earn through sharing, through spending, and then through team building or expanding your network. And we'll go into each one in detail, but the basic idea is that you accumulate BV points through all 7 of these bonuses, in which a percentage of these BV points gets paid out in cash on a bi-weekly basis. So diving into the first bonus, this is pretty simple and straightforward. You can earn it even with registering at L1, so 0 product card top-up required. But when you refer a new member, you earn 20% of the BV that pertains to the membership level they register at. So it's a fixed amount of BV per level. And so you can see if someone you refer comes in at L2, it's $16, L3, $100, and L4, it's $200. So pretty straightforward. But the real money is actually in the recurring bonuses. So let's definitely keep going. So this market expansion bonus is a big one. It's a bonus that lets people earn the kind of income that you rarely see elsewhere. And so how it works is BV points will accumulate every month based on the number of active auto ships in your network. So remember, that's the $150 per month of auto ship per person, and that will equal to 80 BV. And so your network is basically anyone that kind of stems from your referrals or you have in your network. It's built on 2 lines, a public line and a personal line. So your personal line is made up of people stemming from your own referrals. So if you refer friend A and they refer friend B who refers friend C, all those people make up your personal line. Your public line, who you also have the option of placing numbers you refer there, but it also fills automatically from placements by your upline and those above them. So there may be people you don't even know fall into your public line. And so the public line tends to accumulate a large pool of BV points, even from activity that you didn't personally drive. And so with this bonus, it takes the BB points on the lesser of the two lines, and it pays you 15% of the BV. And whatever is left on the bigger line, it carries forward to the next biweekly cycle to match against new points. And so in this example, your public line has 10,000 BV, your personal line has 7,000. It matches the 15% against the 7,000. And so your cash bonus on a biweekly cycle is $1,050. And then the remaining 3,000 BV carries forward to the next cycle. So this bonus is very powerful because one, your public line fills up on its own because there's people that are placed there by your upline and by the entire system above you. And so that means as soon as you start building your personal line, the points will match right away. And the bonus will pay out right away against that big accumulated public line pool. And then second, this bonus is not capped. So there's no upper limit each week or each month on how much you can earn from this bonus, because most network marketing companies who have similar models, they will cap a bonus like this because they don't want you earning too much. But iHealth, they don't have any ceiling for this bonus, so there's really infinite potential here. Now, third bonus is the auto ship bonus. And what's really nice is that 50% of the BV points used in the market expansion bonus that we just covered can be used here again, essentially allowing double counting of BV points, which even so maximizes your income. And so again, remember every month's auto ship per person is equal to 80 BV. So from your network's active auto ship BV points each month, you can earn 5 to 20% for this bonus, depending on what generation the person is relative to you. And one thing on generations here. So generations are made up of members who directly stemmed from you. So via your referrals or the people that the friends you shared with then shared with. And so for generation one, this is if you share with a friend directly, you get 20% of the BV that they accumulate. And then generation 2 through 8, you get 5% of their BV. So if your friend refers another friend, the second person is your second generation. They refer someone else, they're your third generation, and so on. And so the number of generations accessible for this bonus depends on your membership level. So L2 only allows you to reap the bonuses for 2 generations, L3 for 4, and then L4 allows up to all 8 generations. So as an example, if we just do it based off of one person, someone joins your network as L4 and does 12 months of auto ship. So that's 12 times 80 BV points each month, and that's 960 BV points for the entire year. Since they're your first generation, you get 20% of that. So that's $192 USD just from that one person's auto ship this year. And let's scale that then across all 8 generations. And let's do a very modest and achievable example. Say you refer just 2 L4 members into your generation 1. And each of them shares with 2 more L4 members. And that pattern repeats down all 8 generations. This example slide here, it shows the number of people at each generation plus the number of bonuses that you'll receive from each generation. So that sums up a total of 510 person network, paying you roughly $2,000 a month and around $25,000 a year. And this is from just this one single bonus alone. And notice how the deeper the generations are is where the exponential income growth comes in, which is why we stress so much that L4 is the optimal income earning strategy, because it's able to capitalize on all this exponential growth that's beyond level 4. And then another key thing here is that unlike most network marketing business models that force you to kind of balance 2 lines, so both balance your personal line and your public line, this bonus, you're able to earn substantial income just off of this single line. So there's no need to have to kind of balance both lines. And then the fourth bonus is the leadership matching bonus. And this one is quite simple because try finding a business that rewards you for the efforts of others rather than purely your own, because there's not much out there. So this bonus, you can actually just get kind of lucky, and it rewards you for the success of select members in your network. And so when a member within 8 layers of your downline or your network earns the market expansion bonus, so the second bonus we covered, you can earn 10% of that bonus, up to $1,000 a month in total for this bonus. And so if you have referred less than 10 people, though, then this bonus is capped at $300 a month. And so a note on layers, unlike generations, which we explained that are composed of members who are only directly stemmed from you, layers are made up of people who stem from you or who are placed there beneath you by other people in your upline or their upline and so on. And so depending on your membership level, again, you can earn this bonus if the person in your downline falls within 2 layers for L2, 4 layers for L3, and 8 layers for L4. So in this example here, you have 3 members in your 8th layer that are earning these respective incomes for the market expansion bonus. And just because they're within your 8 layers, you can earn 10% of that. So then that's 800 a month to you. And so we see again the benefit of being L4 because if you were only L3 membership, you're only able to access if those people fall within 4 layers. And so in this example, you wouldn't be able to get that bonus. Next is the rank award bonus. And so now we get to 3 bonuses that are exclusive to L4. So for this one, it's a recurring monthly bonus that you earn when the number of active auto ships within your 8 generations crosses certain milestones. And the milestone equals the cash payout for this bonus. So it's quite nice. It's like a stable, recurring monthly cash payout just because you've kind of reached a certain size of network. And so you can see that these are all kind of the milestones. So if your generation, your network reaches kind of 1,000 people, then that's 1,000 USD a month that they just give you straight off just because you've reached that size of network. And then the achieving award bonus, same idea as the rank bonus, but it's a one-time lump sum for permanently reaching a rank. And so you can achieve a rank by hitting its milestone 8 times within 12 biweekly cycles, so within 6 months. And then once you hit that rank, then you earn a one-time bonus. And then you can see the rank levels here, the auto ship requirement, and then the one-time bonus that will get paid out. And it comes to around $2 million in one-time bonuses if you sum everything that's possible. So just kind of a nice cherry on top there. And then the seventh and last bonus, also exclusive to L4, is the ECBV bonus. And this, for a lot of people, is the most exciting because it's effectively becoming a shareholder. So ECBV stands for Entrepreneurship Contribution BV. These are special points that convert to equity stake when iHealth goes public on the NASDAQ, which they have been preparing to do so. And so how it works is 100% of your own personal BV points. So just through spending and doing auto ship each month and buying products, those BV points 100% count towards ECBV. And then also 100% of your first generation's BV points. And then for your second to 8th generation, it's 10% of their points. And so through this, you're able to accumulate kind of these ECBV points that will match to kind of your equity stake in the company. And there's also a loyalty multiplier that increases this by a lot, where after 12 consecutive months of auto ship, so for 1 year, if you do auto ship, your ECBV points in year 2 are multiplied by 2. And then the multiplier goes up for each additional 12 months that you engage in auto ship. So this is extremely valuable because with a lot of high growth companies, shares can appreciate significantly post IPO. So the everyday act of just being a consumer, building your network, spending on this platform is also quietly building you an ownership position in the company itself with huge accretion potential. So even if you don't refer a single person, you can still act as an investor and turn your consumption into equity stake with just this one bonus here. So we've covered all 7 bonuses, and I just want to put like a summary slide here, side by side of the different membership levels and what each level kind of unlocks. And you can see why we recommend L4 because it's the only level that unlocks all 7 bonuses. It gives you the full 8 layers and 8 generations reach on these bonuses, which is where the real kind of income scale comes in. And it's the only level that allows you to accumulate equity. So for anyone who's serious about maximizing their income earning, we always recommend L4. It's almost a no-brainer. And I also wanted to cover just how and why iHealth trumps all other similar revenue sharing and network marketing business models. The best way I can capture this is through the Climb network. So for C, convenient entry, there's no rank requirements, no clearing of points ever. So if say 1 month you don't do auto ship, your points are still there. As soon as you start doing auto ship again, you can access the bonuses again. There's no inventory pressure, no stocking requirements. So it doesn't matter if you're a new member or a member of 5 years, everyone has equal access to all the bonuses from day one if you choose to be L4. For L, leverage one line. So you can build with just one line and still create strong income. There's no need to have to build 2 lines and put your effort in kind of growing 2 lines of network. For I, increase value through consumption. So you're turning everyday spending into long-term assets that also accumulate equity as well. And then for M, maximize earnings. So for the market expansion bonus we mentioned, this is not capped. So there's no income ceiling here. And so you can really earn a very significant amount just because it's never capped. And then for B, build long-term generational wealth. So you're able to create this sustainable recurring income and build wealth over time and establish generational wealth that is inheritable for your children and your family in the future. So we've had quite some instances where, for example, a member passes away, but their account is then transferred to their children or their parents. And it keeps on growing. The network keeps on growing. So even though they're not here anymore, you're really just building that kind of generational wealth vehicle using iHealth's platform. And then I think one thing to note is that if you study a lot of other network marketing business models, you'll find that a lot of them are have a lot of limitations or caps and hidden rules kind of designed to limit what you make. For iHealth, it's really built to maximize your earnings. So you really won't find a more generous compensation plan than what iHealth offers. And then to end, I just want to demonstrate the income scale and explosive growth that you can achieve through iHealth's business model. And I want to show this through a fairly achievable goal. Because a lot of times people ask me, Jasmine, I don't think I can refer tons of people. Even 10 people is too difficult. In that case, can I still make money through this business model? Because if we ask ourselves, like, what if we ask ourselves, can you share it with 2 people? Then that seems all of a sudden quite manageable. Because if every person just shares it with 2 other members, let's say in the first month that they join, the network can actually compound very quickly. So here you can see each month, using that kind of logic of duplication, the new people added, and then your total network size. And so you see that at the start, it kind of grows pretty slowly, but then by month 6, you're kind of doubling your network every month. And by month 9, if you do this consistently, you reach a network of 1,000 people. And based on the bonus plan and what we have seen across the platform, these are the kind of monthly and annual income numbers, all in USD, that pertain to hitting a kind of certain network size. And you see that once you hit a network of 100 active members, that works out to roughly 2 to 3 thousand USD per month. So 24,000 to 36,000 a year. And it's pretty good side income in that case. I wouldn't mind adding that to kind of the salary from my day job. At 300 people, it's 4 to 5K a month, so 48 to 60K a year. And at this point, you're already close to the average salary in the US, which is quite good and quite crazy just for kind of a side gig that you're doing. At 500 people, it's 8,000 to 10,000 a month and 96K to 120K a year. So at this stage, you make more than 75 to 80% of people in the US. And then at around 1,000 people, it's 15K to 20K per month, around 200,000 USD a year. And remember, this is recurring passive income. And this is a level where myself, I would say, and I think most people would say, they've kind of reached a good level of financial freedom. And so you can see that this 1,000 person network that pertains to that income, it stems from just the simple and very manageable act of sharing with two people. And so the duplication, it can look small in the beginning, but it accelerates rapidly after kind of month 7, given this time frame. And you don't really need to build this overnight, and you definitely don't have to do it by yourself. Of course, how long you reach these network sizes, it also depends on the speed of duplication and how many active members you're able to retain. But even if you give it a bit of a discount, say it doesn't take 9 months to reach, say it takes 3 years or even 5 years, that's still much, much quicker than if you were to achieve this income in any traditional job or your kind of own entrepreneurship, especially in a passive nature and in a asset light nature. So for me personally, I'd much rather invest 3 to 5 years of time into this business that I can do on the side. I don't have to give up my day job, nor invest large amounts of capital, but my reward and my upside is huge. I'm able to build this passive recurring income stream that puts me essentially in the top 5 to 10 percentile of earners in the US or in Canada. So that's really an investment that I'm willing to make here. And so yeah, those are all 7 bonuses that are covered today. Hopefully I've kind of outlined how iHealth is truly an asset light, low risk, easy to start business opportunity that rewards you just through the simple act of kind of connecting other members to the business. We didn't cover it today, but in around 2 weeks' time, we'll also have another session covering more on the revolutionary NMN product that iHealth offers. So definitely come attend that session to learn more as well. So I'll end here today and I'll pass it back to Minzy. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jasmine. So I think now I have a better idea of where the $300 to $500 just magically show up in my account every month. So that's good to know. I'm going to be very honest. I still don't understand it fully, Jasmine. I'm going to have to attend a few more of these meetings or these presentations for me to fully understand it. I think it's not because it's a complicated model. I think it's more because there's so many opportunities for gaining any kind of wealth with iHealth. So as Jasmine said, there's all these different ways you can potentially earn. You can potentially earn with investing $0. Of course, if you maximize, that's when you'll gain a little bit more. So while Jasmine was talking, what I did was I went back to ask my good friend and financial advisor, my ChatGPT. I plugged in based on what it knows about me, based on what I'm currently making, if I add a passive income of $200,000 a year, right? When can I potentially retire? So it told me I can retire very comfortably at 45, which is my goal. Uh, Realistically, so I think it's going to get me some time for me to make it to 200K a year. Ideally, that would be great. And if I do, I think we can probably all go celebrate if I get to that point. And hopefully I do, and hopefully everyone here does. So uh, but I think over the next couple of months, what I will be focusing on is really learning more about eye health and how I can grow. And one of the things that I've kind of come to understand is you're not doing this alone. I know a lot of people probably feel really overwhelmed looking at this. I do, right? I have my friends, but I'm not very comfortable sharing with all my friends this model because they're not open to it, right? So to me, it's like, do I really, how do I share? How do I get people to participate in this? And it's kind of like selling, but not really, right? You're marketing, you're sharing. It's really just sharing. So how do I get that? And to me, that overwhelms me. That makes me a little nervous I don't think I can do it. But as Jasmine said, if you share with two people and they share with two people, that's just going to grow exponentially. So at the end of the day, we're here as a team and, you're not doing this alone. Everyone that we are helping you uh, gain in terms of your own generations and your own levels is really helping the rest of the people gain. So we're all here together and we're all here to support you. This is why we're having these presentations. Jasmine and I don't get paid to do this, right? We get paid by sharing, and as our network grows, that's when we're going to make money. And everyone here is helping us get to our $200,000 at a minimum a year. So that's not un that's not impossible. It sounds very realistic and very doable if we're looking at the way Jasmine presented it, and if we're steadily kind of contributing a little bit of time to this. So hopefully in a couple of years, I can retire and I don't have to do my job. As I mentioned, I work in HR. I've seen so many people get terminated for no reason, for anything. And, Microsoft just laid off 4,800 people. Like, nobody has a secure job working for corporate America, working anywhere, right? There's so much volatility in the market right now that, you know, not many people make $200,000 a year. I think only 4 to 6% of America makes more than $200,000 a year. So think about that, right? If we're able to do that even in passive income, even not 200,000, even if we're just making $50,000 in passive income a year, we're already ahead of many people. So, I think for me, it's also kind of planning for my own future. I don't think I'm going to be working 9 to 5 for the rest of my life, and I don't want to, right? So this is kind of me planning for my own future, for my own kids. I would love to travel the world and still be able to make money, right? What if I'm in Asia or wherever people are, and I'm still getting money from iHealth? I don't have to physically be in an office doing work and doing all of this. So to me, that's kind of where true wealth is, right? You're gaining the financial freedom and the ability to say, even if I get fired from my job right now, I'm still okay. I will still be able to make it and I will still be able to support my family. So to me, it's like I've seen too many turnovers. I've seen too many people get fired, and I've done it myself. I fired a lot of people in my career. So, I think, and some people are great performers. It's not sometimes the company's just not doing well. You just never know, and when you don't have that security, I think that's where things become risky. So part of the reason why I'm in iHealth is because I'm trying to not only gain the money, but also gain the security, right? If I'm able to build, as Jasmine said, this is going to live with you, right? If I'm gone one day, my children can have my accounts or my husband can have my account. That's something that's really valuable. If you pass and your job's not going to pay your family, like that's not going to happen. So I think that's just some thinking points that people could probably take into consideration when thinking about this. And, I think we're all here for a reason. We're all here to, whether we love the eye health product, whether we're trying to make a little bit more money, whether we're trying to gain financial freedom, whatever it may be, I think we're all here to support each other. So, Jasmine and I are around and we're going to continue doing these presentations. I think we will continue to do this probably bi-weekly, is my understanding. And, if there's topics that you guys want to listen to more, if you want us to go deep dive into a certain aspect of the compensation model, just reach out to whoever referred you and they can always pass along the message. We can build that into future presentations. But for now, I'm going to end it here. It was very nice having this presentation. And, like I said, if there's any questions, we're around and whoever shared this presentation with you,